Good morning, people. Certainly hope you're having a good one. It is Juneteenth, so it is June 19th, and I had the day off, so I'm like, I was going to do this last night, but I decided to go ahead and just do it this morning. I think Sick Humor went live yesterday playing some new game by Remedy. I think that's what he was doing, and so I'm like, well, I'll just do this in the morning because I'm off. So I spent yesterday just chilling, playing some Hitman. Certainly hope you all are still gaming out there. Very quickly, 60 frames no lag. Make sure you all go check that out. Also, one of the members of 60 frame no lag, Extreme, he did a fireside chat this either yesterday morning or this morning. Also, Porter Rock, he's doing his third and I think in final upload of the Sony sit down, the whatever you want to call it, their little chat that they did, and It's interesting. Now, we got to remember part 3, and I do think Porter Rock did mention this, is that it is for shareholders. They're talking about shareholders, so that's a good thing. All right, that is a good thing. And so, but moving forward, Sony is not, and this is just a recap, they're not doing day and date on PC. They're locked into what they're doing. They don't care they don't really care. They're not bothered by what Microsoft is doing. They're not going to do the same thing. They've said it, and like I said before, it got to a point where there were people saying, well, even though Sony's saying it, they don't mean it. So it's gotten stupid at this point. One reason I stopped the whole console warring thing is because what we're going to talk about today briefly, and this is not going to be a long episode. I got other stuff to do today. I got to go to the store, go grilling out today, and I want to listen to Reforged Gaming. He starts, I think, at 10 o'clock. And I definitely want to be listening to that when I'm at the store. Put on my headphones and everything. So that's what's happening. And I'll open with this. Microsoft is doing another device. They're doing a handheld device, and they're doing a home open source device that's going to be open to all storefronts. So that is Steam. That is, I don't know about is it GOG, GRG, whatever that is. I don't know about that one. But Steam, Epic, and Windows. It's a Windows-based device. It is not a Xbox console. Sarah Bond, on her announcement, reiterated that it is a Windows-based device. So it's no different than a Windows tablet, the Surface tablets, which are considered some of the best tablets in the world. Microsoft, again, it makes sense to me. Microsoft makes Windows. They make an operating system. Microsoft made its bones by licensing out that operating system to other companies, Radio Shack, Ricoh, a lot of companies, IBM. They did it with a whole lot of companies. So this is good. This is Microsoft doing what Microsoft has always done. But if you want to know why Microsoft is in the position it's in, it is because of how they got successful. It is because of the MS-DOS, Microsoft DOS, or Microsoft Desktop Operating System. You all look it up. I'm not going to re-explain that to you guys again. So what we got on this morning here, the three topics we're going to touch on, and I'm gonna do the WB thing with Sony last because that I have said to multiple people before. I cover more movie stuff than I do gaming stuff. I prefer cover and talk about movies and shows and stuff like that. The gaming just kind of came on and took a life of its own, I should say. So what are we going to do today? I'm going to do a dedication. It's called Ode to Xbox because there is no more Xbox. Okay. So I'm going to give you my favorite 3 to 4 games that I played on Xbox. Then very briefly, I'll touch on Marathon being delayed, and I don't know why that's a big deal. I'll start with that one. Then we'll move with Sony purchasing WB's assets, which is the animation and the games. That's what Sony wants. They're more interested in the animation. But there are several steps that have to happen in order for something like that to come to fruition. So let's start with the Marathon. The game Marathon is being made by Bungie. That is a Bungie game. Bungie was still independent when this game went into production. If you don't know, Sony bought Bungie for $3.6 billion. Now, it wasn't $3.6 billion. It's because they put back $1.3 billion to go ahead and keep on reserve because Bungie was owned by its employees. So you got to incentivize employees. So they said, okay, we will put $1 billion down for you all to stay. And that kept people there. But Bungie is now part of Sony Interactive Entertainment, or SIE. And so Bungie has not made a game under SIE yet. The fact that they're delaying Marathon means when Marathon does come out, it will be under SIE. It's going to be under SIE when it finally does come out. Now, to me, the game being delayed or pushed back is fine. They literally released, and I agree with Porter Rock on this. We were talking about this before 60 frames no lag. The mistake Bungie made was saying it was going to have a release date of sometime in September. And that game Bungie flew people out, they flew these testers out. They didn't like the game. They didn't like what they saw in the game. So they told Bungie exactly what Bungie needed to hear and giving them feedback. Bungie was looking for feedback. They got feedback. They said, okay, with all this feedback that just came in, we're going to go ahead and delay the game. And to me, that makes sense. And hopefully to you, that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. But to me, that makes perfect sense. You put something out. You want people to go ahead and talk about it. You want people to go ahead and give you information back. Give you, go ahead and interact with it and say, okay, here's what I like. Here's what I didn't like. So the list of didn't like surpassed everything else. So they went ahead and they said, okay, we're going to delay the game. To me, that's normal. However, this goes back into the whole narrative of where are the games at? How come they don't give us betas and things like that? So again, the reason why they don't like to do it is because people like you all, there's people in this gaming community that are going to complain no matter what happens. And that's what happened this time. Marathon, again, alpha comes out. People play the alpha. Nothing wrong with that. Bring people in to play the alpha. They give you feedback on what can be improved so that when the beta comes out, you can see these improvements. Guess what? People started complaining. Even though, I want to make this clear, even though they asked for betas, even though they asked for alphas. Hey, what are these companies doing? What's going on? Things like that. And that's kind of why the community is in the shape that it's in, is because that's why the community is in the shape it's in, is because there's a bunch of people who have podcasts and they need something to talk about. I've said this before. They need something to talk about. And because they need something to talk about, They are literally sitting here trying to make demands, and then when they get something, when they get something, all of a sudden it's a problem. That's why I've said before they shouldn't give you all anything. So now you're seeing why I said that. You're seeing it in real time. You don't have to be like, oh, no. You're seeing what I complained about in real time. So again, you get early information, you get some early gameplay. That's what you said you wanted. And because you don't like it, you throw a complaining fit. I don't get it, okay? That's one reason why. And shout out to what other people have done. Shout out to Sick Humor, Mr. No Cap himself. That's why he walked from Pony Nation, if you want to call it that, PlayStation Nation, is because you got a bunch of idiots in there. We're right back to where we were last year when people were saying the real gamers have this. The real gamers are the ones being paid to play games, okay? They're the ones that get into the Madden tournament. They're the ones who get into the college football tournament. They get into the MLB tournament, MLB The Show tournament. They get paid to play games, not paid to test them, paid to play them. If you watch that Gran Turismo movie, which I didn't care for, I just got done watching F1 last night. F1 is fire. Make sure you go see it. Very well done. And it's going to win the award for cinematography. Make no mistake about it. It will win the cinematography award. Great movie. Great movie. But it's that's another reason why I didn't want a podcast yesterday, because I went like at 7 o'clock. Y'all know I started at 6:30, right? But now where was I? Oh, okay. The real gamer talk. We're right back there again. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand why people they'll say that they collect trophies. They say that they collect trophies, and that makes them a real gamer. When a real gamer is getting paid to play. The professional gamers, the real gamers, the real men and the real womans, they out here, they're getting paid to go to tournaments. They're on teams, those teams like Team Chaos and all those teams you see, the teams that play CSGO, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Gran Turismo has a movie. You're out of the loop. Yeah, Jay, if you have Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime or Amazon, the app, you can watch the Gran Turismo movie. It's based on true events. So the movie's just not that good. It's not that good of a movie. It's filmed very well, but the dialogue is trash. Now, I went and saw F1 yesterday, and F1 is so much better. It is so much better. So people that will compete. So I like to play DCS, and I have spent probably after getting my track IR, getting my my HOTUS. Let me see if you all can see my HOTUS. Let me see if I can just give you a quick tour of it. That's what my HOTUS looks like. I have a split thruster. That's one side of the HOTUS. All these little buttons. Trying to move my big fat finger. All these buttons here. This button will go up, down, forward, and backward. Same with this button. This moves right here. This moves up here. I've got like 40 plus functions, plus all these you see right here. And then here's the actual flight stick. See if I can show you all that real fast. That's the actual flight stick. So there's the fire button. There's a button over on this side. And look at this up here. Look at all my hats. These are called hat switches. Each one of there are 3 hat switches up here, have 4 functions each. This is a professional HOTUS joystick. That's what this is. This is so I can get better at being in DCS. And here's the IR, track IR. It's on my hat. That's these funny looking things on my hat. That's the infrared capture device. So when I move my head around, that's what it's capturing. It's capturing the movement of my head. That makes me, and I'm not getting paid to play, but I'm semi-pro with DCS. I'm semi-pro with it. I'm not pro. I'm not getting paid to play. I'm semi-pro with it. My point to you all is that you have a group of people. It's not everybody. You have a group of people out here claiming to be real gamers because they get trophies. They're not getting paid for it. They're not in any kind of tournaments. They could be in a Gran Turismo tournament. They're not, where are they at? They real gamers. They're not doing speed runs. I saw a guy do a speed run. He got paid to do it. I saw a professional gamer do a speed run of Resident Evil 7, and he did it in like 5 hours. It was something. It was some ridiculous speed. He did a speed run. But he got paid to do it, and to his credit, he donated money to a children's hospital. The money he was getting, he took 40% of the proceeds and he donated it to his local children's hospital. We need more people like that, just in life, but in our community, definitely. So do not get caught up. Again, we've already had this discussion over a year ago. All right. You have a group of people. These are grown ass men saying that, oh, the real gamers will do this. The real gamers will do that. It's like the real gamers are the ones being paid to play, and everybody else is an amateur. It doesn't matter if you've got hundreds of trophies or no trophies. It doesn't matter. All right. Also, shout out to my friend Aaron. He just bought, not the Aaron that you see online, my friend Aaron, who just went out yesterday after the movie and bought his PS5 Pro. Walked right into Walmart after the movie. And of course, you know me, I bought me a bottle of, I got me a bottle of Maker's Mark. Got to get my Maker's Mark, right? So I'm getting the Maker's Mark, and he goes across the street and gets him he said, I'm going to go across the street and do a little shopping. I'm like, all right, man, I'll meet you back here in 30 minutes. I get back out there. This man standing there with a PS5 Pro talking about, yeah, I can't wait to get this home, So, but he's got it home, and he's supposed to go get a monitor today for it, and he's going to Best Buy, going to piece. I need a 2.1 monitor, 2.1 HDMI monitor, and he wanted it to either be 1440p or 4K. I said, I just told him to get the Sony monitor. Okay, the 4K Sony monitor. It's expensive, but it's good, right? Right. So shout out to everybody that's here. Happy Juneteenth, like I said before. If you celebrate Juneteenth. And so guys, don't get caught. Let's enjoy your hobby. Don't get caught up in you got to buy this version of the game. You got to have this version of the game. To me, the real gamers are going to be paying for the highest version of all the games, right? They call themselves real gamers. All right. So, hey, Ice Queen, how you feeling? Your buddy can get FSR 4 on what? For a Pro? Yeah, the Pro has FSR 4. We know that already. That's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. So good for it, and good for Sony for doing that. Sony and AMD for doing that, right? And so, yeah, I went pro, right? Nah, I'm not a professional gamer. I will gladly tell you that I play DCS semi-pro. I play it semi-pro, not pro, not even close. Not even close. Those pro gamers on DCS, the Flight Sim DCS, those pro gamers can shoot down real pilots in the simulator. Now, it takes those real pilots, because the real pilots don't have to, with the video game, the real pilots do not have to adjust for red out, blackout, and certain ways because they don't have to deal with the G-force. Like they do in a real simulator, a real jet simulator, military simulator, they have to deal with the G-forces and red out and blackout and things. Like you don't have to do that for DCS. So it takes them a couple of sorties, but once they figure out how the game actually works, and it doesn't take them long, maybe 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, they are able to just rule. I was talking about the real pilots are able to just go out there and rule the DCS players. So, but shout out to my friend. Yeah, he's going to be playing, I think later today. He said he's going to download The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. He's going to start playing those this afternoon. So I'm going to check him out. He's going to be broadcasting it. So, but I wanted to add that one real fast. Just, guys, don't get caught up in it. I'm a real gamer. I got this many trophies. Just simply, you could ask a simple question. All right, well, let's see the receipts on how much you're getting paid to play. You're a real gamer. You're a real gamer. You're a professional. Oh, well, that's not what I mean. Bitch, that's what being a real gamer is. Everybody else is just gaming because it's a hobby. All right. So, but let's move. So we talked about marathon. We did our little add-on topic. Any questions about the WB Sony purchase? I'll answer that at the end. That's what I'm doing at the end of the show. I'm going to move on to my dedication, and this is not a rip. This is not me being funny. This is not me joking. This is ode to Xbox. So I'm going to tell you how I ended up buying my first Xbox, which I've told you all this before. Then I'm going to give you my 4 favorite Xbox games, or games I played on Xbox. And they were Xbox only at the time. Maybe they're multi-plat now. And I'm going to start with how I bought it. So I had a PS2. And when I had my PS2, I had 14 games. I decided on a Sunday afternoon during the SEC basketball tournament when Kentucky was playing, because when Kentucky plays in the SEC basketball tournament, nobody's out. Everybody stays home to watch the game. So I went out, took my PS2, took it to EB Games, better known as GameStop. But you may have known it by its gangster name, Electronic Boutique. Took it in, and I got, I traded in the console and my 10 to 14 games. And so when she was finished, she said, "Okay, you have $318 in in-store credit." So I said, "Oh, is that enough to get an Xbox and a game?" And she was like, "Yeah." She said, "But try to make your first game Halo, because that's one of their best games." I said, "Okay, but what about Knights of the Old Republic?" And she was like, "Oh, well, that's real good too." So that's what I bought. So I get home, I have my Xbox, I've got Knights of the Old Republic. I get everything set up, at least I thought. But guess what? Back then, Xbox, I required an email address, something I didn't have at the time. This is 2001, 2002, something like that. And 2002 maybe, 2003 maybe. It was in between 2001 and 03. So I had to go to the public library, create a Hotmail account, because that was MSN. Microsoft had a Hotmail account. And I created a Hotmail account, had to write it down on a piece of paper, get home, had to do the password, all that stuff. Get home, set that all up. Then I finally put in Knights of the Old Republic. It starts to play. I fall in love right there. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm like, holy cow, this game is effing incredible. This is the first game I ever played on Xbox. What I didn't like about the Xbox was the controller. To me, the controller was just too big and bulky, but I made it work. All right? So I went ahead and I go ahead and I played Knights of the Old Republic. Not for 1 hour, not for 2 hours, not for 3 hours, not for 4 hours, not for 5 hours, but for 6 hours. I played Knights of the Old Republic. Sat there in my little bitty, I had an efficiency apartment at the time. I sat there in my little room and I played. Well, I had two. I had a bedroom, then I had a small, I called it my game room, my den. That's where I would write songs. That's where I would play my games. That's what I would do. And I had a little spare bed in there. This is a little spare bed. And a twin. It's a twin bed. That's what I had. So, but I played Knights of the Old Republic, and I fall in love with the game so much, I actually go back to EB Games about on a Friday. It's Friday. I'm supposed to be going out getting my drink on. I go out to EB Games and buy the hint book, Knights of the Old Republic. It was this thick. That hint book was that thick. But I played that game religiously. This is the first game on Xbox I ever played. All right. Finished that game. Loved it. I finished it. And I'm like, because you get a chance to go to either the dark side or stay on the light side. First time I played it, stayed on the light side. That game is harder if you say good. Okay, they've made that game harder because it's easy to be bad. But I had to do things in that game. I enjoyed it, loved it. Still to this day, love the Old Republic, love the High Republic. I talk about that all the time. I love that point of the Star Wars universe. All right, or you could call it. They call it now. They call it extended universe, but they're bringing it all together. But anyway, we're not talking about Star Wars, right? So after that, my second game on Xbox was a game called Splinter Cell. Now, I don't know if you all know about Splinter Cell, but that game, it was by Tom Clancy. And if you don't know who Tom Clancy is, rest in peace to Tom Clancy. Look it up. Look it up. I mean, Tom Clancy did this. They did a video. So it's an Ubisoft game called, called Splinter Cell. And it was a classic game. It made Siphon Filter at the time look stupid. I'm like, this is so much better than Siphon Filter. The music was better. The graphics were better. The acting was better. Everything was better. And Sam Fisher was played by Michael Ironside. That's who had it. Michael Ironside at the time was a badass. I mean, he was like the ultimate guy, ultimate voice at the time. Of course, James Earl Jones, rest in peace to him. He's the man, right? Played Darth Vader. And so when we're going ahead, that's the second game I played. Love Splinter Cell. Love the world that Splinter Cell was set in, the espionage, the back and forth, the equipment that Sam Fisher had. That's the character's name, Sam Fisher. Made Gabe Logan. Gabe Logan, that's the guy's name in Siphon Filter. He made Gabe Logan look like a little kid. But this Sam was this grizzled guy spy. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. Okay, so those are the first two games I had on Xbox. My third game I got on Xbox was Halo. Like everybody, like you weren't considered in the ecosystem until you played Halo. So I played Halo and I enjoyed Halo. I can see why it was as popular as it was. There was nothing out like Halo when it first came out in 2002, 2003. Nothing was like that. Like the draw distances, the colors, the iconic character, the character branding that Microsoft did off the chain with Master Chief. It was the premier game. All right. Now I'm actually gonna give it 5 games. The 5th game I got, and I enjoyed Halo. I still to this day like the Halo games. I haven't played Halo Wars, but all the Halo games that I played, even Halo 4 and Halo 5, and I even liked the Halo. I forgot the name of it. It was like another. No, I'm thinking about something else. Okay, my bad. But I've liked all the Halo games. The one that just came out, I'm lukewarm on that one, but there were things about it I did like. But moving on. The next game was Gears of War. Now I'm still in the Xbox ecosystem. This is the 360. Gears of War was the first game where I openly said in an empty apartment, I am so glad I got this 360. Like I literally said, I still remember saying that. Saturday morning, I went to EB Games, bought Gears of War, came home, got it loaded on my 360, started playing it, and I was like, and the opening scene, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, And then you got the call in, the B2, the Hammer of Dawn. Just phenomenal. Graphics were great, all that stuff. So, but that was the 360. So I'm still in the Xbox ecosystem. This is old to Xbox, all right? So the Xbox ecosystem, I get my favorite game of all time. I get a little game. I go to E3, and I see the demonstration of a game they have there called Mass Effect, and I watched them play the game. I didn't get a chance to play it. I wasn't that high up, just some little bitty, I'm just a little Rudy Poo out there at E3. I mean, there was some big time. Adam Sessler was there. Morgan Webb. Morgan Webb was stacked. Beautiful young lady. I mean, I was just like, wow. I mean, stacked. 5'8", 5'9", dark hair, long legs, just stacked. But I was watching her play Mass Effect. And maybe it wasn't her, it was somebody else. But it was somebody who was playing Mass Effect. And I actually talked to the developers of Mass Effect. How long did it take them to make the game? They were like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We were BioWare. I said, oh, you guys made Knights of the Old Republic. I love that game. So that's when I really fell for BioWare Studios. But I got to make this clear. BioWare Studios they got their bones on that Xbox, okay? They got their bones on the Xbox, no doubt about it. When Mass Effect is a Microsoft published game. Or you kids would say they money had it the game, okay? They money had it the game. It's a Microsoft If you look up Mass Effect, just type in Mass Effect 1 publisher, it's going to say Microsoft. Microsoft Windows gaming system. So, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. That led into what I think are three of the best RPGs ever made. And then BioWare came back and did Jade Empire. I played that on Xbox as well. All right, so kind of moving along. So that's what I'm always going to remember about Xbox. I can separate what I felt about it back then versus these idiot fanboys that are online that I don't even think are gamers. I just think they're I think you guys call it farming. Is it called farming for engagement or stuff like that? I don't know what that means exactly, but I was told that's what people are doing. Or they're just farming for engagement. Okay. So, but I don't think they're playing games at all. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to argue with them, which goes into, what I'm saying now. I'm going to recommend that you all don't get caught up in the back and forth with these Xbox people. They claim they are online. Just don't. It's not. They are no longer in. Xbox is no longer a console. It is literally, Sarah Bond said, the next device is a Windows-based system. That's what it is. Again, I had no issue with Mike. I've said it before. Microsoft will be fine. I have no problem with what they're doing. And again, what they're doing is you'll be able to turn on that Microsoft device, and because it's open source, you can just go get Steam. Go to Steam, create an account, boom. Go to Epic Games, create an account, boom. Yeah, go to the Windows Store, order Game Pass, boom. You'll be able to do all that on this device. And yes, you will be able to play PS5 games on their system because it's an open source device. It's an open source device, so you will be able to play Spider-Man on it. I'm just getting you all ready for you all that are still console worn. They're gonna be able to play Spider-Man through Steam, and I think Spider-Man's on Epic as well. Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. It's going to work on that system. And Sony don't care because what they wanted was, they got what they wanted, which was Microsoft out of the console business. That's what Sony wanted. And Sony got it. So Sony, that's why they said at their meeting, if you watch Porter Rock's podcast, the second one, part 2, Herman Holtz clearly comes out and says they wanted to establish console dominance in the market. He says something like that. I'm paraphrasing him. So and that's what they've done. They are the dominant console. Nintendo is not their competitor. Them and Nintendo are nice. Do you all remember a movie being made called, put a 1 in the chat if you remember a movie being made right now called Zelda. So if you know Zelda is being made into a movie, put a 1 in the chat. Guess who's producing, excuse me, guess who's producing the movie? Guess. Sony. Sony's producing the movie. So Sony and Nintendo are good friends. So all you all that, so there is no more console war. So all you people out there that are following these console warlords, wink, wink, nod, nod, y'all gonna be up in for a bruising because you will be playing Sony's games on. You can play it on this open, like you can play it on the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck and all that stuff. All right, you're gonna be able to do the same thing. You can play Spider-Man on Steam if you have Steam and you have a PC. You can play it. You'll be able to play. There'll be some games that probably won't work good, like the Microsoft Flight Simulator. That'll probably be cloud based. And yeah, it is what it is. And the other thing, Microsoft, the Final Fantasy game not doing well on the Xbox system. Again, what these guys, I'm gonna tell you the 2 things that they didn't like. Then we'll move into the whole WB thing. What the Xbox community did not like, they didn't like Microsoft going multi-plat. They didn't like it. Made no mistake about it. They did not like it. And so now they want to say, well, now we can play Sony's games and we don't have to buy a PS5. They're right. They will have to buy a PS6, though, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And I actually told you all this on 60 Frames No Lag. Sony is going to have their own PC storefront. It's going to happen. All right? It's going to happen. and you all better get it ready. So, and the Sony's PC storefront will be for it's going to play PS5 games, PS4 games, PS3 games, PS2 games, PS1 games, but it's not going to work on the Xbox or whatever, the Microsoft device. It's not going to work, and it will concentrate. And then guess what? Sony can't do anything about the other games. Okay, they can't do anything about the other games, the PS4 game or PS5 games that are on the other Sony games that are on the open sources, the open storefronts. They'll just get a cut. They'll just get the money. They're like, well, they're not. Everybody likes money, right? If it makes money, it makes sense. It's just that's reality. Scare money don't make no money. And but PS6 is going to be a different animal. Now remember, I'm not buying a PS6. I'm not. It's not for me to buy. They are targeting. They're targeting 8K. They're going to be targeting 120 FPS. And people are like, will it be 8K native? Yes. They will be able to run games 8K native. Now, I don't know which games, how many games. That's an argument. And you can argue about that. But that's what they're going for with 8K. That's their whole thing. All right? So, I hope you all understand that. Yes. For all you idiots that are console warring, the console war is over. Microsoft won't even make a console no more. So I feel bad for the brothers and sisters out there that are console warring. That's what I'm saying. It's stupid at this point. They literally are calling a handheld device with a 7-inch screen an Xbox, and they don't even make it. Shout out to what D-Bat said. Hey, look, they don't even make the handheld that they were going to make. They're not making that. They're just going to make an open source device for your home. And I'm not here to say not to buy. I am not talking about that at all. And there is a chance that the PlayStation controller, there's a chance that the PlayStation controller will work on this device because it's an open source device. So I'm not here to say go ahead and buy it. Don't buy it. It's your money. It's your choice. It's not my monkey, not my circus, though. So I'm just letting you all know. You all to just get it ready. You all better get it ready because that's what's going to happen. Now, again, for PS6, I'm saying this again. Sony is going, and we're talking about something that's 3 to 4 years down the road. PS6, when it comes out, it will have an accompanying handheld. All right? It's going to have a proprietary handheld. And then you're also going to have a PC storefront. That PC storefront is not going to work on the Xbox device. So when your PS6 games come out, so that's going to be the next, because God of War's got one more game coming out. That'll be your new God of War game. That will be cross-platform. So that might work. God of War game, Horizon Zero Dawn, the sequels to those games. These games are going to be cross-platform, so they will probably work. But the PS6 dedicated games, I'm trying to make this clear, not the cross-platform games. The PS6 dedicated games will not work on the new Xbox open source device or Microsoft open source device, whatever you want to call it. It's going to take me time to stop calling it Xbox. I've been calling it Xbox for 20 plus years. So I'm just letting you all know that is their plan right now. Plans change. So I'm saying it to you again. They may not care at the end, and it won't be anti-consumer because Sony will simply say, we have a proprietary, just like Apple. Apple has a proprietary device. There are apps on the iPhone and on the iTablet, the iPad, that only work on Apple. That's the way it is, right? That is the way it is. So I was bald in 2002. Yeah, I actually cut all my hair off in 1998. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and finally get my bald head. And I did it on a Friday night. My friend V did it. And Vic, he did it. And, I went to a football game that had that look. Everybody was like, oh, man, that's a cool look for you. So moving on, just so you know, PS6 games will not work on the new Xbox. And I'm talking about the ones that are dedicated. I ain't talking about the cross-platform games, all right? Spider-Man, all these games you have here now, Spider-Man, Horizon, they're going to work on PS5 and PS6. So, well, it may not work on PS5, but PS5 Pro and PS6, they're going to work. And so it is what it is. I'm just letting you all know so that you all can go ahead and start getting it ready and get your money ready. Because PS6 is not going to be cheap. You're looking at, I've been told anywhere from I've been told $799 to $849 for the PS6 as of right now. But we're 3 to 4 years away. We're 3 to 4 years away. So I wouldn't just, you can start getting it ready. You save about $50 a month for the next 48 months, you'll be fine. Just go walk in there with COB, cash on the barrel head. So now moving into the last story, and we'll hit this story up because you all may have questions. So about a year ago, or a little less than a year ago, I left. Shout out to the Mooch Crossfire Mooch. I don't know if they're going tonight, but I left Mooch a tweet. Let me see if I can find that here. Bear with me now. Let me see if I can find it. I may not be able to find it. So let's go to Messenger. Let's go to Mooch. See here. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. May not be able to find it. May not be in here. That may not be from, let's see here. No, it's not in here. Okay, fair enough. Not in there. Not much to do about nothing. But I told multiple people that Sony had been in some early talks. I mean, I'm talking not bare knuckle talks, just talks, like casual talks about buying WB and WB's gaming division and their animation. Now, this was a while back. I talked to multiple people about this. And so where does this stand? Okay, so now we're moving into WB being purchased by Sony and what Sony really wants from them. Yes, I can tell you right now, as somebody who follows the movie trades, I'm telling you right now, yes, this is true. I'm like, well, this is true. You know, I put it in Zubitech's thing. I've tried to put it in everybody's thing that I can see. This is true. They are in early negotiations. So how it happened was WB started losing money about 36 months ago. They just started losing money. Their movie houses lost a ton of money on the DCEU stuff, if you want to call it that. They lost a lot of money on that. And then HBO Max, it topped off. You know, HBO Max topped off. So Sony, because Sony, everybody forgets Sony makes television shows. Sony makes movies. All right, Sony has music artists. Prince used to be one of them. Rest in peace to Prince. I believe he was on Sony. So what are we doing here? Sony wants their gaming, they want their music, and they want their animation. That's what Sony wants from them. They don't want the movies. Okay, that Warner Brothers films that's totally separate. Sony is not going to bid on the films. But Sony cannot make any offers until Warner Brothers splits. Because they'll split into two different things. They'll have an entertainment side, and they'll have a movie side, and it's not a big mess. If you really want to sit down and do the reading, or I can do another podcast Saturday about really what it's really on. But yes, Sony is going, again, each one of these people, let me go take you back a little bit further. Sony's PlayStation division is under new management. Okay? You got new people and new parts of the company. each time somebody new takes over, they have what you call a sentinel moment. They have their own moment where it's like drop down and grab your nuts. So with Sean Layton, his drop down moment was what? Getting Insomniac Games introduced to Sony, and then purchasing Spider-Man, being insanely successful, and then guess what? They bought Insomniac Games. That's Sean Layton's sentinel moment with Sony. That's his moment. All right, that's his time. Jim Ryan, you'll say, what was Jim Ryan's? Jim Ryan has three events. Jim Ryan has three events. Number one, he saw the release of PlayStation 5 under a pandemic, and it was tremendously successful, even though we were in a pandemic. Number two, he was present with the Sony Live Service issues, the debacle issues, or you want to call it, fine. He's part of that. It's part of his legacy. But the third and the biggest part of his legacy is getting Xbox games on PlayStation. People got to remember, Microsoft didn't just wake up yesterday and say, we're going to start putting games on PlayStation. No, they negotiated that with Jim Ryan. And so that is Ryan. So with this new group that's here, they want to buy two studios, major studios. And those two studios, one is Warner Brothers, and the other one, which again, the Warner Brothers, they want the games, they want some of the music catalog. And look at Warner Brothers' music catalog, it's tremendous. And they want the animation. Because remember, Sony's got that fun, whatever it's called. Sony wants to be like the go-to place for animation and stuff, for cartoons and stuff like that. They want that. They're making their niche, especially in the Asian market, where anime is extremely popular. Like it's extreme, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, China, so it's real popular in the Asian Pacific Rim. The second studio that they want to get their hands on is a studio that just came out, and it was at the Epic Game Night, or whatever you want to call it, and it's called what? CD Projekt Red. They are going to make a bid on CD Projekt Red as well. The CD Projekt Red wants to come in. Now, not right now. This is stuff down the road so that they can get ready for their PS6. They want, I'm telling you, listen, they want to be able to walk out on stage and say, Witcher 4 is exclusive to PlayStation. They want that game identified with PlayStation. They also are going to be making, once they get their hands on WB, if that goes completely through, they're going to make another the Batman game that's on the shelf, and the Wonder Woman game that never made it. Those games will come out. They'll be exclusive games. They will be exclusive games. That's what's gonna happen. And don't get caught up in that. Well, they want their sentinel moment as well, meaning that the new people who are in charge, that will be their sentinel moment, overseeing the launch of PS6. Getting CD Projekt Red, and getting WB games and animation and some of the music catalog. And they want WB streamer, HBO. Yeah, they want that. They want that as well, because Sony does not have a Sony streaming service. And if they have HBO, they can start growing it from there. They'll rename it, but they want that. But they really want the animation and the music catalog. Now, this could change, okay? Yes, they already have a good working relationship with HBO. Isn't The Last of Us on there? Isn't The Last of Us on there? And I've watched that Last of Us episode with Dina and Ellie 62 times. I'm just going to watch it every time. Like, I'm going to watch it at some point today. And I dare you to try to stop me. So, that's the way it works. Risa says, talk about the PlayStation PC storefront. Yeah, I mean, they're doing it, but it's PS6 related. I want to make that very clear. And it's not that the other games won't play on that storefront, But they're going to have like PS3 games on there. They're going to have PS2 games, PS1 games, if you all want to go back that far and play those games. They may also bring back the Star Wars game that they had back in the day on PC. They published the PC. So it's all possible. It's all part of what they are looking to do. But the PlayStation storefront for PC will not work on the Xbox, the Microsoft device. It will, I'll say it again, it will not work on the Microsoft device. Now, the stuff that's cross-platform, so the next Horizon game, the Horizon with Aloy, that will work. That's not going to be a PS6 dedicated game. The game Sorrows, is that what it's called? I'm not buying that game, but Sorrows, that game, that's a PS5 game. When we get to PS6 and you see those games, those games are going to be, as far as the way they look. I'm trying to get you all to really understand this. They are targeting 8K, and don't let anybody tell you they not. They are targeting 8K. So you better start getting ready to get an 8K television if you are going to get a PS6. And don't listen to these people saying, we're not going to do it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay? That's the next evolutionary step in their console cycle. We're at 4K. We got 4K native. We got fake 4K. We have dynamic 4K. Now we're going to get to 8K. Yeah, 8K 60. Maybe it'll be fake. It'll be 8K upscaled at 120. But if there's, when the next Spider-Man game that comes out, there's a chance it's going to be a PS6 game. I'm just letting you know. Because after they make Wolverine, which they're about 60% done with it, Insomniac Games. And also people are like, what's taking them so long with Wolverine? You do know that Sony doesn't own that property, right? That is Marvel's property, and they could have built something and Marvel saw it and didn't like it. You all got to remember that. Sony doesn't own Wolverine at all. So, you were sold on Donkey Kong before that Direct. Yeah, I heard the Direct was good. The Switch, I'm gunning, wrong word. I'm shooting for my birthday in August is when I'm going to try to get the Switch 2. So, David Faulkner talked about Sony's, Warner Brother division possible acquisition after the first Discovery merger 3 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to say I'm the only one that talked about it. So I talked about it, but I said it would be a ways off, and it's still a ways off because Warner Brothers may not separate. The first thing that has to happen, has already happened. First thing that's happened has already happened. So needed to happen, which is Sony made a soft pause. They made a soft inquiry into getting the assets. Warner Brothers agreed to talk later. The main thing they have to do now is separate the company. After they separate the company, Sony will make another inquiry. And guess what? Warner Brothers can say, hey, you know what? After looking at it, we don't want to do that. And that's fine too. You know how many business deals start and you think you got a deal in place at 1 p.m. and then by 2 o'clock the next day, they say go kick rocks. It happens. It's called life. And it happens. So just moving forward so that you all understand, yes, there's going to be a PS6. Yes, they're going to have PS6 dedicated games. Yes, they're going to have a PlayStation Portable. And yes, they're going to have a PlayStation PC storefront. And that's it. People are like, well, and again, people are like, well, why not just buy it on Steam? Because they won't be on Steam at first. All right, so the PS6 games come out. They'll be on the PlayStation 6. People will play it on PlayStation 6. Then it will go over to the PC storefront. I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 months later. They're still looking at 12 to 14 months. Let's just say they go in 14 months. Now it's on the PC, the PlayStation storefront. So again, it's still, yes, it's a PC storefront. So they will be able to buy the games there and then play them on their PCs about a year and a half later. Then, after a year and a half later, maybe they'll be on the PC PlayStation storefront for maybe 6 months to another year. Then they'll go to Steam and Epic and things like that. So that's their plan right now. And the PS6 piece, the PlayStation PC storefront will not open be faced with the new Microsoft open source device. They're not going to do nothing about the games that are right now because people are buying those games and they cannot legally, I can't say they can't. They would have a tough time in court saying, okay, people already physically bought these games. They already bought it. They own it. Here's their receipts to this game. Why can't they play it on this other open source? Because this is an open source device. So it is what it is. You want Sony to get DC Comics. I don't know if they get that may be part of the whole game thing too. But my understanding is it's games, it's the animation, and some of the music library. But it may not be. It may not be the music library. It could be the movies as well. But we'll have to wait and see because right now they're not getting nothing because they're not getting nothing because it's just something that they made a soft inquiry about. So the rumors are true, and I'm telling you all this not as some ridiculous gamer in a console war. I'm telling you all this as somebody who follows the trades. It's not the worst kept secret, but everybody knows this Sony wanted to do this. Sony wants to add this. Number one, it adds a library of good games. It adds Mortal Kombat. I didn't realize Mortal Kombat was made by them. It adds Mortal Kombat. Yes, it adds the Batman and all that. They would own the DC look. They would own it. Okay? So can you imagine Sony Ben making the Wonder Woman game? Can you imagine Blue Point making a Batman game? I'm not saying, look, we're talking years down the road. Years down the road. Junior Copeland says, Craig, you saying that RE9 is going to be woke? How do I figure? It's woke because it has a female protagonist being sent to, it looks like being sent to Raccoon City or right outside of wherever she's going by some black dude. So the people are going to say that those are two DEI hires. So, the game's woke. And I'm fine with it being woke. So I don't mind it. I heard a YouTuber, and I'm not going to say who it was. I got to say this, though. I heard this guy say that he was calling the PC people that are modding Eve out of Stellar Blade, that are modding her. He was calling them goons or gooners or something like that. But then he turned around and said he appreciates Eve's physics and Eve's body and how they made a sexy figure on a woman. Doesn't that make him a gooner or God, whatever they're calling him? I mean, isn't that the definition of the one? And I won't say who it was, but it's somebody that multiple people in my chat follow. That follow. All right, because I see them in that room. I see them in that room when this person's podcasting. So I'm just letting you know. But that's how RE9 is woke. That's why as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, this game's woke. And I was like, oh man, you got a black man in charge, and he's gonna send, and then you got to play as a female protagonist. Now, again, that's the game. And what do the people keep? That's why they're screaming. Well, where is Leon Kennedy, that strong Christian white man? Where is he at? And I'm like, well, it's not that he's not gonna be in it, but he ain't gonna be the main protagonist. And these dudes are getting mad because now they got to play as a female, and they're mad. So so I love it being woke. I mean, I got no problem with it being woke. So I'm not against being woke. So I think Goonie me. Oh, oh no. Well, again, whatever that means, this guy was saying. He was calling the PC people playing Stellar Blade. He was calling the PC people gooners or whatever they were because they were sitting up there playing a Stellar Blade mode or mod with Eve she's naked. Okay. They were playing a mode of her being naked. At the same time, in the same thought, hit that like button, by the way, the same thought comes out of his mouth. I appreciate the female, the Eve character and her physics and how they made her, made the jiggle figs. I don't even call them jiggle figs. I mean, I didn't care. I thought, yeah, that's a good look. And because I supported the devs. I'm like, yeah, I bought the game. I'm gonna probably Friday. I'm gonna buy the DLC that comes with it because I want to beat the whole game. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just beat the whole game. So, but I can't do that because I don't have the 2B DLC, and they added some more stuff to it. She's got more outfits, stuff like that. So, and I didn't know they had a Christmas outfit for her. I just found that one. I'm like, oh, they got a Christmas outfit for her? Cool. So, the woke mob have a huge problem with Stellar Blade. As far as who? I mean, the only people that I know that are upset with Stellar Blade were, I saw a bunch of women saying that she has an unrealistic body, but they did exaggerate her derriere and her breast. That's exaggerated. But as far as the frame, the curved frame, that's a real woman. They just exaggerated her parts. And it was the guy's wife who did it. It wasn't like it was forced. So again, she's a real person. She's a real model. And she's pretty, but they changed her face. They made her face look more Western. And she's not even a person in the game. Isn't she like a cyborg? So, I mean, I'm not saying things that people don't already know. So, because they produced them to come back and claim the planet, Adam and Eve. So, I'm not confused about wokeness. That's what it is. Yeah. The tiggle bitty physics. Yeah, this person said they like that, but they're not a gooner or something like that. I'm like, well, wait a minute, isn't that the very definition of a gooner? So, but yeah, so all right, look, let me make this clear. Ghost of Yotei is woke. Grand Theft Auto is going to be woke. And these guys that are anti-woke aren't going to be able to play those games. Because how is it going to look? They're going to say, I ain't for all this woke shit. But then they're going to, play Ghost of Yotei? The game's woke. You got a female protagonist. It's woke. According to them, Resident Evil, woke. Got a female protagonist. It is what it is. EA canceled the Black Panther game. See, that was more Marvel that canceled the Black Panther game. Y'all got to remember that it's not that Marvel Games Marvel Games is licensing out its IP, but they expect a certain quality with their games, and if you don't hit the quality or you get behind, like they were in the Black Panther game, they're gonna pull it. Like, yeah, we're done here. It's called working on a deadline. Even when Spider-Man was being made by Insomniac, they would meet with Sean Layton and they would say, well, Ken, we're going to try to add this. We're going to try to add this or that. And Sean Layton said, if you think it's going to make the game better, that's fine. Because Sean Layton never called them and say how much longer it's going to take you to make the game. That's why Insomniac joined them. That's why. That's the main reason, because Sony wasn't in their face saying, you need to do this and you need to do that. They still let them work on their own timeline. And that's why the game is so damn good. GTA 6 is woke. How a female protagonist. Get it through your head, Junior. They will tell you that anytime they have to use a female protagonist, that means the game is woke. That's not my life. To me, it's illogical. Because Tomb Raider, I've enjoyed those games. They would say that Tomb Raider is woke. That's what they would say. Not me. It's not my circus. It's not my monkey, not my circus. So it's woke. And again, Lucia is going to be in there in the gym. She's going to be able to spar against dudes and beat them. I mean, I mean, again, I already know this about. I don't mind telling you all this about the game because all this stuff is going to come out anyway. But yeah, she's going to be able to work out. You're going to be able to put different clothes on her. You're going to be able to do her nails different. You're going to be able to have you're going to be able to accessorize her, get her toenails painted, put different jewelry on her, change her makeup. It's just that's what's good. That's what's happening. And again, we did the same thing in Grand Theft Auto. I won't say Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4. We could change Nico Bellic's clothes. Grand Theft Auto 5, Michael, Trevor, Franklin. We could change all their clothes. So you're doing the same thing in Grand Theft Auto. The one you couldn't change the clothes is Grand Theft Auto 3. So that guy didn't even, they didn't even have a voice code for that guy. Then they went out and hired Ray Liotta in Vice City. Rest in peace to Ray Liotta, who played Tommy Vercetti. That's the first time a Grand Theft Auto character was talking. So, what happened with Mind's Eye? I have Mind's Eye. I'm gonna stream it probably a little later on today. I'm streaming it stem to stem. So, GTA 6 is woke, strong, female, boss main character, interracial couple. Possibly Jason could be a quote unquote what they would call as a white Hispanic. There are Hispanics that from a distance look European. So, but we'll find out. I mean, we're gonna find out more. Yeah, but you have Lucia, who is definitely Latino. I don't know if she's from the Dominican. I don't know if she could be from Cuba. I don't know. But she's definitely a Latino. So, and Jason could be a white guy. I'm out here to say he's not, but he could also be a white Latino. But my point is, Lucia is the main character because the last trailer, nothing was happening in the trailer that was exciting until they showed her. That's when things started cutting loose in the trailer. That's the truth. Go watch the trailer again. So, I mean, again, this is not me. A white Hispanic named Jason. Yeah, but what's his last name? Because he says his last name when he goes up to the prison, right? But I'm just saying, just don't be shocked. There is I won't say her name. There is a chiropractor online who is Hispanic. And her first name is Brenda. So don't be shocked. And this because they don't call each other, name themselves Jose and Rico and all that stuff, don't mean nothing. So I'm just saying, there's a Hispanic woman. She's a chiropractor. I'm not gonna say her last name, but she is Hispanic, and her first name is Brenda. That's the truth, right? Is it Duval? Is it Duval? Jason Duval? Yeah, he could be. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying that the girl is not, and you're gonna be playing. You're gonna use that girl more than anybody else, and it's woke, and that's just. According to their own logic, to me, it's funny. To me, it's funny as hell. Because again, if you're anti-woke, you ain't gonna play these games. If you're anti-woke, if I see you playing these games, I will do a video on you. Okay, I'm gonna be on your neck, and I don't care if you got 1,000 platinum trophies. I don't care. I'd rather take a woman out on a date and eat some wings than sit up there and go for my 10th platinum. Somebody's getting them some trim. I'm the one that's waking up with titty on the breath, and they trying to chase trophies. However, if you're going to say you're anti-woke, and that's fine that you're anti-woke, do not try to play these games.
Gonna make GTA 6. Is she going to be to get pregnant?
No.
No, right? That would just open up too many can of worms. Rabbit hole I don't want to do into.
No, she's not going to be getting pregnant. But, I mean, there's certain things you all didn't see in the trailer. She's dominant. How do you know that she's dominant? Well, Craig, how do you know she's dominant? Because she gets on top of him all the time. That's a sign of dominance. If you all have a cat, like I have a cat, right, named Snowball. I don't know where Snowball is right now. I know she's in the house. But my cat, when I lay on my stomach, my cat will climb on my back. And I asked the vet, why is she doing that? And she said, because it's a sign of dominance. So when she gets on top of him, when Ellie, in the Last of Us show, when Ellie, or even in the video game, when Ellie and Dina slept together, Ellie was on top because she's in the dominant position. You like, well, how do you know? That's how I know. I know these things. I know these things. So again, I'm just saying, it is what it is. Third-party games on Switch not selling. Well, can we let the Switch get 1 year in before we start judging it? So it's in Zuby Tech. Cool. But Jimmy Leo, thanks for the 10 spot. I appreciate you. Make sure you all like Jimmy's comment. I thought it was funny as hell. So, yeah. But it's going to be super woke. I mean, it's because Rockstar Games makes fun of our culture anyway. Grand Theft Auto 4, they were mocking people thinking immigrants have a great life. They were trying to show you that Nico Bellic and Roman Bellic, or being immigrants, had a tough life. You know, Nico didn't hardly had no money. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay? And Grand Theft Auto 5, they made fun of millennials. The excessive spending, the entitlement, it's all, that's what you're going through. I recognize that in the first 45 minutes of the game. I'm like, wait a minute. This dude is entitled as hell. He ain't, I mean, what are we doing here? The guy's son entitled as hell. Okay? And Michael is Gen Z. That's the way Michael acted. That's why he said, man, when I was 16, I was out there running numbers and running whores and stuff like that. That's a Gen X guy. That's what we did in Gen X. We did our thing. Like I said, we would go knock down the beehive, dig up worms, and play Hot Wheels, and that's Monday. Imagine what we did on Tuesday. Okay? So, but that's so, yes, they're gonna make fun of, it's gonna be super woke. Like the ultimate woke game is going to be Grand Theft Auto. And a lot of people that are anti-woke, they're not gonna play it. They can't play it. Do you see what I'm saying? They cannot play that game. Because if they do, I'm going to take their butts. I'm just going to. So it is what it is. Now, they'll try to make up excuses. It's like with, what's the name of this game coming out? Ghost of Yote. They're already trying to make up excuses. Oh, she's not out there talking a whole lot. We don't care about her politics. Well, again, they're not going to, like Herman Holt said, they're not going to start pushing things till they're a few months out. And that girl's going to be coming out here. And the girl who plays her, I think, is gay. I think, I don't care that she is. I don't care. She thinks women are pretty, so do I. I understand a gay woman. I understand it. Because I think women are pretty, right? But yeah, I mean, she's going to get involved. She's going to get her politics involved, and I'm going to sit up here, and I'm going to love it. Because these people's heads are going to explode. It's going to be like, pow! And I'm going to be like, well, guess what? I guess you're not buying the game. I guess you're not a real gamer, because a real gamer won't care about what somebody's political views are. All right? They won't. The real gamers are going to play the games, right? Because we're real gamers. The fake gamers are the ones getting caught up in all the outside noise. So it is what it is. The girl in GTA 6 had the only curves. Woke people hate that. And it's not that she's not curvy. She's like thick curvy. She is thick curvy. So, and it ain't that slim thick shit that you hear hood dudes talking about. She's thick. And again, I don't have an issue. Let me make this clear. I don't have an issue with Grand Theft Auto 6, the characters. You had dudes going full gay. When they said, oh, look how good they made that guy look. Did you all see those comments? Oh, I'm so happy that they made a guy look good. It's like, can you say gay as hell? I'm serious. I mean, which, again, I don't care. If you want to take another man's butt, take the butt. I'm not going to stand in your way. All right? You go out there looking for booty, that's the way it is. All right? But, you know, don't blame that on me. Don't bring that to me. It is what it is. So, like I said, GT6 is not close to being woke. Yeah, it is. Any game you have, any intellectual property that has a female protagonist is considered woke. These are not my rules, Junior. These are not my rules. These are their rules. So, so that's what I said before. I support woke. I support it because now I can just do everything. I wouldn't care. I mean, I'm gonna do it. I'm Gen X. We'll kick your ass. That's my generation. We will kick your ass. So that's just y'all not like us. What's that song by? Was it Kendrick Lamar? They not like us. That I agree. Not like us. So, let's see here. What else we got here? Say it was confirmed to be woke. It's gonna be woke. Just be ready. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna watch the trailer again because again, it's I can't play the music because the Pointer Sisters. Shout out to the Pointer. Love the Pointer Sisters. But it is wokeness personified. None of the action in that game is just with Jason by himself. There's no action parts. It's always her. So she's the main, she's the lead. They're both protagonists, but she's the lead protagonist. It is what it is. Just like in Grand Theft Auto 5, Michael and Franklin are your two lead protagonists. Trevor is a protagonist as well, but he's secondary. So it is. Yeah, the hashtag rules of woke is female protagonist means woke. It means that that person should be a white guy. So Resident Evil, that's why they came out. You saw the black FBI lead person, whatever you want to call it, person in charge, giving the assignment to a Caucasian woman, and she's going to be the one going into Raccoon City or wherever she's going. You got two people that are not white males in the lead positions. And these white guys are going nuts. So they're the ones calling it woke, not me. I don't care. I mean, I play Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 has a female in it. It has a female in it. Is that game's woke too, according to them. Resident Evil 2, you could play as that strong Christian white man, Leon Kennedy, or you could play as the girl. And, you know, so again, it has different parts. Shout out to Resident Evil. Shout out to Capcom. So it is what it is. So, you know, to me, it's funny. To me, it's funny. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. So my camera angle is woke as well. It could be. I'm sorry if it is. Actually, I'm not sorry. Mulan 19. Yeah, they said Mulan was woke. So, I mean, I not me. I didn't say that. So, let's see here. Stella Blade has a lead female protagonist. Yeah, and she gets away with it, Junior, because she is sexy looking. She's got this, you know, ridiculous body. Her proportions are exaggerated. Like I said, they exaggerated her body parts, especially her tush, and they said they did it. Again, I don't care that they did it. Yes, it's a beautiful game to look at. It's a good looking game, and it's a successful game, and it's a game that is successful because of Sony. So it is what it is. So you know, that's again, I don't, you know, that's why I'm playing Mind's Eye. That game's woke as hell. That game's woke. So you got a black female protagonist. Leo Jimmy says he's playing it. He played Woke Forspoken and Woke Spider-Man 2, Woke Last of Us 2. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Last of Us 2 is so woke. It was woke 5-6 years ago. That's how woke it was. It was so woke you didn't know it was woke. And that's what happened in that game. When Joel dies, those guys went. I didn't mind it because Ellie needed a catalyst for her to go where she was going. Ellie needed a catalyst. That was her Sentinel event. That was the Sentinel event on what spurred Ellie to do what she did. Ellie did not care about nothing else. She cared about Dina, But she didn't care about nothing else. It was just like, you are either going to help me or you need to get the hell out of my way. And it took her going through her entire journey. It took her. She tried to let it go. Tommy triggered her. She didn't have that PSD moment or PTSD moment. And then she went back out there again. And she lost everything. Her ability to play the guitar was messed up. Her relationship with Dina was messed up. So it is what it is. So it cost her everything. So that's the moral of that story. And I agree with that one YouTuber. He was like, both Ellie and was both those women were both wrong. Abby, they were both wrong. They were both wrong. So, it is what it is. It is what I mean. I like The Last of Us Part 2. Like I said, I was honest about this. I laughed at parts of it. I cried at parts of it. Like, I teared up on parts of it. I died 1,000 times in that game. Especially getting chased by those dogs. I mean, those dogs just kept finding me. I was like, man, you gotta put some kind of scent out there that gets them. So it is what it is. The gaming first is because the woman, I don't know, just cause it's a woman of color. Well, she's black. Okay? We're not black people. We're not people of color. We're black. So people of color, they try to lump us all into the same group. And that did piss a lot of me and a lot of black people off because we have different experiences. But yeah, it's because she's a woman and she's black, and that's the issue. Because the game's woke. I mean, again, I'm telling you that I love the woke. I love it. I mean, like I said, Ghost of Yotei, I'm buying that. It's woke. All right? Allegedly, the baby that's in Death Stranding 2, which is down. I don't know if you noticed, but how many of you all got Death Stranding 2 downloaded already? Like, mine is already downloaded. Like, I was just like, damn, it's downloaded. It comes out next week. So, hard to believe it comes out in 4 days. So, what did you say, Junior? Every game with a female character is what? Yeah, those are, as the lead protagonist, these guys are saying is woke. Junior, these are not my rules. These are the rules. This is what these guys have put out. So, not me. Not me, because I don't care, because I'm pro woke. I say, well, if these games are woke, I say make all the games woke. Make all the games woke. I'm for well, I've been saying that for months. I'm for woke, and people can, if they don't like it, and people have unsubbed because I'm pro woke. Just so you all know, yes, people have unsubbed, but that's fine. If you ain't woke, I don't want you here, because you're not going to be able to play Ghost of Yotei. You're not going to be able to play Death Stranding 2. You're not going to be able to play Grand Theft Auto. You're not going to be able to play the next Resident Evil. You're not going to be able to play Silent Hill F. Silent Hill F, again, what did you see with Silent Hill F, the one that's coming out in a couple months? It's a girl in that. A girl is the lead character. The game is woke. So guess what? You can't play it. It's not my fault. What's my fault is I don't like games like Silent Hill because they're scary. I mean, I don't like jump scares. And Silent Hill I do remember the original Silent Hill, which they are remaking. That game had a lot of jump scares in it. So I'm not looking forward to that at all, but I'm going to play it again. So, yeah, Boycott Activision says guys aren't calling it woke because Jason has a hot Latina. Well, I mean, okay, fair enough. Yeah, and they were saying how good looking Jason was. Like I said, gay much? And again, I'm whatever you want, right? I'm all for it. As long as you playing Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass, I don't care what you do. But it is woke, and I'm happy that it's woke. And when I first saw Lucia, remember in the trailer, the very first trailer they showed, they kept showing Lucia. I'm like, well, she's the lead. You know, oh, look at her. She's busting down doors. Look at her. She's pulling out a gun. This game's woke. Oh, this is what we're doing. This is not me doing this. I'm just enjoying it, right? I hope you all enjoy it as well. So, Silent Hill F is woke. Yeah, it's not my rules, guys. So, but I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to say, well, this isn't woke because of it's woke based on their rules. It's woke. So it just I'm that's these aren't my rules, guys. I didn't wake up and make these damn rules. What's this? So, but I get it. What they're trying to do is trying to sneak, trying to say, oh well, I want to play Ghost of Yote. Therefore, I gotta come with another. No, you're not gonna do that. If I see you playing Ghost of Yote, I'm gonna do a whole video live stream on you. And I've been talking about everything. Okay, everything's open game when I do stuff like that. So if you're anti-woke and you have the absolute right to be anti-woke, then I'm gonna have a good time, especially if you play these games. Yeah, the game was woke till they saw Jason. Then it was, well, they got a good-looking man. Yes, I already got my Superman tickets. Already got them. So, Junior, you openly admit they're woke games. Based on what they're saying woke is. What woke really meant was stay alert to your surroundings. Stay woke to your surroundings. That's all it meant. Just be alert. Keep your head on a swivel. You know, that person ain't your friend. You know, you need to stay on alert. Stay woke. So now they're saying anything woke is anything with a female protagonist. That's not my rules. That's why, you can look at Fantastic Four. They lied about the people seeing it early. They sided. They sided. What are you saying? Damn good. 75 says WB will cost at least 20. They're not buying everything. Once the studio breaks up, they're just gonna try to buy animation and games. That's it. And again, it's a soft inquiry. It's not an official offer. It is, hey, look. Once you all separate, if you are interested in possibly moving ahead with us buying this. Is this something you'll put on the timetable? And they said yes. That's it. That's it. It's not that they're buying Warner Brothers, okay? It's two different things. CD Projekt Red. Yeah, CD Projekt Red is they're gonna be welcome to the family as well when that PS6 hits, because they want Witcher to be the game. Like we saw it, it's the game. And as far as the woke stuff, that's not me saying it. Joel got killed in Last of Us. Oh, they gone woke. Fantastic Four. Oh, Susan Storm, is the Invisible Woman. She's in it most of the time. The movie's woke. I mean, I'm not saying this is stuff that they said. Even though there was a screening of it, but I have been to advanced movie screenings. I saw an advanced movie screening at F7. And they make you sign an NDA. That's why I haven't really talked about it. I'm like, yeah, I thought it was better than Gran Turismo. But that's all I've said about it, right? I haven't told you about the movie. I haven't told you about the storyline. I haven't said nothing because I can't say anything. I can't. I'm under NDA. When they NDA you, they get a copy of your driver's license. They know where you live. And if you go, and I'm sure they're listening. That wouldn't shock me. They're listening right now. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it. That's why I didn't even put it in the marquee there. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even going to vector them in here. The hell with that. Sony, WB Games, HBO Max. Yeah, I mean, that's something that Sony can afford. Now, can they afford Warner Brothers if they brought it in under Sony? But this is all happening under SIE, and they just have a budget. They have their own budget. So I see they wanted to make Superman. I did not see that, and he's not. You saw the commercials. He's obviously pushing up on Lois Lane. So he may be bi. I don't know, but I'm just saying he's pushing up on Lois Lane. And it is what it is. So don't get caught up in that stuff. James Gunn is not going to make a gay Superman. I mean, but what if he did, though? He'd be walking around in them tights. Talking about, ooh, yeah, my junk's itching. I need to find me a pretty man. But he's not. He's not. It was about James Bond here. They want to make James Bond black. That's not true. That is not true. I'm telling you, that's not true. They want to remake. They want to make on. There's a James Bond movie that's got. I liked it, but it had a James Bond. I mean, you're used to Roger Moore and Pierce Bronson, Daniel Craig. They want to remake On Her Majesty's Secret Service. They want to remake that movie. They don't want to bring in Aaron Pierce. That's who you're talking about, Aaron Pierce. They don't want to bring in Aaron Pierce to play James Bond. They want him to come in as an MI5 agent. So James Bond is MI6. You all don't know who he works for. He works for British Intelligence, MI6, but Majesty's Intelligence 6th Division, MI6. They want Aaron, and he's a 00. So that means he has a what? License to kill. That's what 00s have. Doesn't matter if you're 001, doesn't matter if you're 007, 008. All 00s can kill in the name of crown and country. King and country, queen and country. Okay? They can do that. Those are the rules in James Bond's universe. All they want Aaron Pierce to do is come in as an MI5, which is they do anti-terrorism. I don't know, did you all play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the remake? Did you all play that? Have you all played that game? Put a 1 in the chat if you played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the remake, the reimagining. Please put a 1 in the chat. Because I can just prove this right here. If you played Modern Warfare, all right, if you played Modern Warfare, the reimagining, the one that came out on PS4 and Xbox, it's gorgeous looking. I got it. Hell, I may play it today. The guy, you have that guy. What's his name? Who's the lead? The lead guy. What's that guy's name? Woods. It's not Woods, is it? What is that guy's name? God, come on, help me out here. The lead guy. You put a 2, so you haven't played it. All right. So that guy Garrick. Let me see here. I can just pull this up right here. Little learning session here. I'm glad you brought up James Bond, though. Appreciate you. You always bring up good subjects. So, Call of Duty character. Garrick. Okay. See here.
So if you guys have been around the channel for a while now.
No, I can't do that one. I'm just trying to find pictures of them. Images. All right, got the image. Hold on, there we go. This guy. Let me go here. Hold on. Let me get my buttons ready. Screen capture. Add here. All right. This guy right here, Garrick. This guy is MI5. He's MI5. He gets recruited in to Special Forces. So this is Garrick, okay? Let me make that bigger. All right? So he's MI5. All right, he was out there on the streets when the bomb went off at Piccadilly. So, silly. Lucia gets fat in the trailer. Maybe she gets pregnant. Yeah. I don't think so. But what if the character could gain weight? That would be new. That would be a new thing to deal with, right? Character gains weight, doesn't move as fast. So this is Garrick, and he's MI5. So what they want for Aaron Pierce for the next James Bond movie, they want Aaron Pierce to be an MI5. The James Bond that they're gonna have gets injured and can't go on. They're recasting a new James Bond. If you don't know that, Daniel Craig said bye to the character. Because the James Bond series is not. They just now interconnected it. But you know, like with what's the name of that Casino Royale? Then it had the it had a sequel because it's Casino Royale. But anyway, they want Aaron Pierce's character to be part of MI5, and then he is going to get recruited by MI6 to go finish James Bond's mission. And then once he finishes the mission, which James Bond will come in at the end, the final act, and help him out. But they want him to be then recruited in to His Majesty's Secret Service. That's the plan. Don't know if they'll do it or not, but that's a runway plan. So that's what they're talking about doing, but we'll have to wait and see if that's what they do. He looks dark brown, black, Arab man. He looks woke. All right. I think in the game Garrick is British, but I don't know his nationality. I thought he was British, but I could be wrong. So, oh man, y'all are silly. What about Sony and games? Their games, Sony's got games. Death Stranding comes out Tuesday. I mean, it don't get no more gamier than that. Yeah, Death Stranding comes out on Tuesday. So, Death Stranding hits Tuesday. They do a deep dive next month on Ghost of Yote that comes out in the fall. I don't know what else to say to you guys about that. So, you can bet you as Take-Two is not going to risk single penny that last one. Yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Take-Two always makes fun of society as a whole. And there ain't nothing better than making fun of wokeness. So, I mean, you all that are anti, I'm talking about the people that are anti-woke, they're going to lose their minds when that game. Because that, again, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a cultural event. It's not just going to be a game. It's going to be a cultural event. And you'll see it on the nightly news. You're going to see it all over the place. They're going to have T-shirts. They're going to have hats. You all noticed they're going to have all this stuff. They're going to have it, okay? So just start. I know I'm buying a T-shirt. Ain't no shame in my game. I will buy me a Grand Theft Auto 6 T-shirt. Realistically, don't care. Do I care? Let's see here. They going ape shit in Ark Survival Ascended score because of the rank. Oh, okay. Well, stuff gets delayed. I mean, it's just I don't understand this anymore. It's just stuff gets delayed all the time. The Israel-Iran war. Well, the United States, I don't know if you all know this, but Trump has we've officially entered that war. Whether it's just to do one sortie with a B-2. They're calling in the B-2 and getting one-man army. That's what they're doing over there. Not to mention the Mossad is driving around and a bunch of raggedy-ass Chevettes blowing up missiles in Iran. Can you imagine that? Y'all know what a Chevette looks like? Let me show you a picture of a raggedy-ass Chevette. So, let me see here. This is what their Israeli Chevettes look like that they're blowing stuff up with. Here, raggedy Chevette. Images. All right. So they riding around in a car that looks like this. Oh, there we go. It looks like this. Hold on, let me put it up on the screen. Y'all are gonna love this. Y'all gonna laugh at this. So the Mossad is riding around Iran right now in cars like this, blowing up missile sites. That's what they're doing, man. That's what they're doing. I mean, that's a raggedy ass Chevette. Is Marathon being delayed a good thing? Yes, because again, they're taking feedback in from the people that tested the alpha. So there's nothing wrong with that. But this is a raggedy ass Chevette right here, and that's what they're riding around in that. They're rolling down the street smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice, and blowing up missiles in that thing. This is You cannot make it up. That's what they're doing over there. So they're about to be destroyed by they being destroyed by a bunch of people by a bunch of Jewish people in Chevettes. I mean, that's how bad it is over there. It's that bad over there. So Ghost of Yote probably gonna get delayed. Well, it doesn't seem like it if they're doing a deep dive on it. I think that game's on track. So hope Marathon has a second coming return when they show up again. Yeah, I mean, when Marathon comes out, it's going to be under SIE. That's another reason why it was delayed. You got to remember, Bungie was purchased by Sony, but it was an independent studio. It did not operate under SIE. Now it's been incorporated into SIE. Now that game, when it comes out, it's going to be an SIE game. So it's going to be fine. I keep telling people that. The Pale Black Panther is Captain America. Cap should be dark brown, man. He is. Anthony Mackie's a good Captain America. There ain't gonna be there are no white people in Wakanda, so there's not going to be a a white Black Panther. So there's not. I mean, Wakandans are African, so is what it is. They're Africanus. So Trump's talking about bombing Iran so much for no wars, like he said. Well, he said wars are stupid. He never said that there would never be one. So, but yeah, I've said this multiple times. Obama, like Trump like Obama, they put out a blank canvas and people painted what they wanted on them. So, Obama was anti-war. He was, but then he sent SEAL Team 6 into Pakistan and killed Bin Laden. What you all need to understand is when Obama ordered SEAL Team 6 into Pakistan, that's an act of war. He committed an act of war. Sending in U.S.-based commandos into sovereign nations to kill is an act of war. They even brought it up on the Captain America Civil War. Somebody's brought up Captain America Civil War. What did Thunderbolt Ross say? Rest in peace to William Hurt. He said, what do you call a bunch of U.S.-based commandos going into other sovereign nations? That's an act of war. So it is what it is. I liked Obama. I thought Obama was a good president. I voted for him twice. Okay? So I thought he was a good president. So, see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. G-Ride. Yeah, they ride in a G-Ride. Blowing up missile launchers. It's crazy. So, all right, then. Looks like you all are out. So you all understand Marathon's alpha is what got delayed. That's what was delayed. They played the alpha. They got feedback. They're like, all right, well, we're not ready to bring this out yet. That's what you want to do. My ode to Xbox, my favorite 4 Xbox games, Mass Effect, Splinter Cell, Knights of the Old Republic, Gears of War. Those are my 4 favorite games I played on Xbox. Of course, I'll be playing Gears now in a couple months on PlayStation. I can't believe I'm saying that. And, then WB and Sony. Yes, Sony has made a soft inquiry into buying WB games and WB animation. That's what they allegedly put a soft ask on, and WB agreed to shelve it until there's a split, then they can pick back up again. Now, this is not going to happen until next year. This is going to happen next year. So we'll have to wait and see. And yes, Sony is going to make a hard play. Pause. They're going to make a hard play on CD Projekt Red. That's why CD Projekt Red is working with them with The Witcher. Remember, CD Projekt Red and Witcher is synonymous with Xbox and PC. The Witcher is a much bigger PC game than it is console game. But that game was equaled out to be that game was equal to, it was an Xbox game. It was Xbox had marketing, Xbox had they had all kind of stuff. But now they in Sony's camp. So Sony is going to make that play. So it's Chocolate Thunder woke. He can be whatever he wants. He can be whatever he wants. be woke from 8 to 10, and then from 10 to 12 not be woke. So he gets to be whatever he wants. So, see here. Plus Ultra says word. Make a bet about GTA 6. Bet the woke mob are going to be enraged about GTA 6. Yeah, I know they are. They are already upset now. I don't know if they're enraged, but they're upset. They don't like the fact that Lucia is going to be the main person you're playing with. It's not that you won't be able to play with Jason, and you might be able to. And what I heard was that you're going to be able to play as Lucia. You're going to be able to change that over to Jason, and then you're going to be able to have another one that lets you play as both, like doing robberies and stuff like that. We'll wait. We'll see. What's up, Ray? What's up, Reggie Bone? How you doing? Seattle Chef's in the house. Seattle Chef, what is for lunch? I think I want a BLT. So I think I'm gonna give me a BLT for lunch. So you think Sony gonna get Rockstar next? Absolutely not. Rockstar is worth like $30 billion. They ain't touching that one. That'd be worth. That's like 1/3. I mean, that ain't happening. It's either 30 billion or 30 million. It's a ridiculously amount of money. So the game is going to be woke. So I don't know why you're confused. It's woke. It will be woke. You have a female protagonist in the lead. It's woke. I don't know what's confusing about it. So pretty much, yeah, because Chocolate Thunder, he hands out the Vaseline, right? He handing Vaseline out. So this is what it is, guys. This is what it is. But I'm gonna go on off here. I do want to get down to the store while the weather is broke and has broken, and want to definitely listen to Reforged Gaming. He's already been on for about an hour, so I'm an hour behind that stream. So you all take it easy. You all stay blessed. Have a good Juneteenth. Enjoy the day off. If you're working, don't work too hard. And I'll talk to you Saturday. Deuces.